Hello, my fabulous Learning Lab scientists. It's Miss Steph. Welcome back to what is the third video that I've recorded, but you don't have to watch them in any particular order. I am going to refer to the last video that I made, but you don't have to watch these in any specific order. All right. Welcome. We're going to do some more engineering, but today's engineering project is going to be more of a chemical engineering project, though we are still going to walk ourselves through that engineering design process, right? So we're defining the problem, designing a solution, building a prototype, testing it, and then redesigning if we see fit. All right, so those are the 5 engineering design process steps. And we, believe it or not, are going to use them very quickly when we're making some DIY or make it yourself Play-Doh, right where you're at. It's going to be quick and easy. So I'll see you right back here in just a couple of seconds. Welcome back. As you can see, I have our materials and tools ready right in front of me. We are going to use the following things. I've got 2 bowls because I want to be able to make 2 different formulas. Remember I said our last step is the redesign step. And so I want to have that available to me to be able to mix up another batch with some slight differences in another bowl. All right. And I've got cornstarch, regular old cornstarch that you can get from the grocery store or the supermarket, or really, frankly, you could get this from the bodega. Okay. And then I've got some food coloring. I have brown food coloring. I have some baby oil. Again, you can get baby oil like a lot of different places. And I've got some hair conditioner. All right. Yes, kid you not. This is hair conditioner. See? And yes, once again, we are doing engineering, but we're going to do some chemical engineering. We're going to walk ourselves through the engineering design process. Now, the first thing that we need to do is define our problem, right? We need to define our problem. And the problem is, I want Play-Doh, but I don't want to have to go get it. So let's make some. Now it's time to go ahead and design our solution, as in design our answer to our problem, and then we'll build our prototype. So my design is going to include which is going to end up being my chemical formula, okay, or the things that I'm going to mix together to make my Play-Doh. I have cornstarch, which I know can take the place of flour. Then I have my conditioner. I want something that's going to take the place of the oil that's in traditional Play-Doh recipes, and water. If you look on the back of conditioner, those things are already combined inside of the conditioner together. So wouldn't it make sense as engineers and scientists for us to say that we could just simply add this instead of having to add all of those different components? And then, of course, we need color. Hello, like without color, like life is just boring. All right, so let's add some cornstarch to my bowl. So, my dear Harlem Commonwealth scientists, you know that we are now on step 3. I repeat, we're on step 3. We defined our problem, which was to try to make some DIY Play-Doh, a simpler version of the DIY Play-Doh. And then we came up with our solution, or the formula that we wanted to try. We said, why not switch out the water and oil for some hair conditioner? And why not switch out the wheat flour for some cornstarch? Okay, that's where we're at now. So I have those 2 things plus some food coloring in this very bowl. And now I'm going to mix it together. First of all, as I mix, think to yourself, make a prediction of whether or not you think that this is actually going to work. Like that, and it's just a bit easier to make than normal DIY Play-Doh. All right, so I can start moving it. Now, as far as how it feels actually very wet. It feels a lot wetter than it really is. It was kind of wet. Okay, because of the conditioner, right? So think a bit about what conditioner does for the hair, right? Okay. Hi, I'm back. For you, it's only been a couple of seconds, but you know, for me, it's been some minutes, so I missed you. Anywho, I've started a second batch, right? Remember, we're now doing our redesign step 5. We are going to try to add something to our previous formula, right? Previous formulation. The cornstarch, conditioner, and food coloring made this substance. Okay. Now, I decided to switch up my colors. You'll find out what color it is inside of here once I start mixing. Now, we're going to add a little baby oil and find out whether or not that improves the performance of our substance. All right, that's what engineers do. They look at their problem, they design a solution, they build that solution, and they test it. They look and see, does it do what we wanted it to do? And then we'll compare the two substances later. You ready? Let's mix this up. Now it's time for us to do our final assessment. We need to compare our first formulation to our second formulation, and then I have a little something else to show you. Before we do our comparison, let's review the steps of the engineering design process, the traditional steps. Keep in mind that engineers kind of flow back and forth between steps. They don't always necessarily do them in this exact order, but they do at some point in their process conduct these 5 steps. They define their problem. Then they design a solution to their problem. After that, they'll build some form of a prototype. For us, it was actually making the Play-Doh. After that, they need to test it. Does it perform the way we want it to perform? Does it do what we want it to do? Is it going to be like Play-Doh? I mean, hello. They do a redesign. They question it and think to themselves, can I actually make this better? That's what redesign really is. Can I improve upon it? Will it look better? Will it feel better? Will it do more Play-Doh-ish stuff if I add something to it or take something away? So that's what we did when we added the baby oil. Are you ready to find out the results? Huh? I am. Let's go. Right here, I have 3 samples. Now you may be saying to me, Miss Steph, we only made 2. However, the third sample is, you guessed it, store-bought Play-Doh to help us compare, right? To give us something to compare to. This one, as you know, is my sample that only had, I'm doing kind of this finger test, that only had the cornstarch, food coloring, and conditioner in it. This one is softer and a bit nicer to touch. This one had some baby oil in it, and you notice it's a bit shinier. It's a bit shinier. And then this one, yep, you guessed it, is the original. Notice how this is a bit harder to push down, which means it's more firm and probably easier to build something with. Okay, this one is my store-bought Play-Doh from the canister. Okay, those are our 3 samples. I think I should pick them up and find out how they roll. And now, of course, we're trying to make DIY Play-Doh. So the original Play-Doh, of course, is the best. However, we're trying to figure out what's the closest to what we could get in the store. I think this one is the closest, the one that has the baby oil inside of it. So keep in mind, if you do not have baby oil at home, you could always use cooking oil. But make sure you have permission of an adult family member to go in their kitchen. All right, so folks, thank you so much for watching today's video. We had a great time doing some chemical engineering, and we had the opportunity to go through the engineering design process yet again. I look forward to seeing you, well, you know what I mean, next time. Have a great day.